Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to clear, cleanse this space for all negative and lower vibrations from our mind, body, and soul, home and hearts, placing the white light and protector on us with his blue seal. We're also going to call in God, Source, Jesus Christ, and also the Holy Spirit to assist me, because we're going to be reading more out of my Course in Miracles. We are still on Chapter 6, Attack and Fear, and Part 5, The Only Answer. We had already read Part A and part of Part B, which is to have peace is to teach peace and to learn it. So we're still on that portion of it. So it says, what you must understand: when you do not share a thought system, you are weakening it. Those who believe in it, therefore, perceive this as an attack on them. This is because everyone identifies himself with their own thought system. So, billions of people on the earth, we all have billions of different ideas and thought systems. What gets us to be determines what makes us a good person, as well as how do we get to heaven, if we believe in heaven, or whatever the case may be. And everybody has a different route to get there, right? Everybody has a different belief system that allows them to get there. If you take away that belief system, then it's no longer going to exist, right? Because it's all in our mind that we determine that is how we do it. And that is, I also have a master's in psychology. That is often a misconception that a lot of people believe, especially if you have like OCD. If I don't do the dishes before I go to bed, then something bad's gonna happen, or whatever the case may be. It's all beliefs that you hold because you create the illusion of life around you, correct? So it says, this is because everyone identifies himself with a thought system. Every thought system centers on what you believe you are. If the center of the thought system is true, only truth extends from it. But if a lie is at the center, only deception proceeds from it. All good teachers realize that only fundamental change will last, but they do not begin at that level. Strengthening motivation for change is for their first and their foremost goal. It is also their last and final one. Increasing motivation for change in the learner is all that a teacher needs to guarantee change. This is because change in motivation is change in mind. This will inevitably produce fundamental change. Because the mind is fundamental, the first step in reversal of undoing process then is undoing the getting concept. According to the Holy Spirit, the first lesson, to have, give to all. We said that this is apt to increase conflict temporarily, and we can clarify this still further now. So it says, at this point, a quality of having and being is not yet perceived, until it is having appears to be the opposite of being. Therefore, the first lesson seems to contain a contradiction, since it is being learned by conflicted minds. This means conflicting motivation, so the lesson cannot be learned consistently as of yet. Further, the mind of the learner projects its own split, thus does not perceive their motivation. This is the real reason why, in many respects, the first lesson is the hardest to learn. Still strongly aware of the ego in themselves, responding primarily to the ego in others, he is being taught to react to both as if he does believe and not true. So I'm going to leave it at that, but absolutely, that's a little bit more complicated to understand. I'm trying to think of how could I sum that up, but honestly, I understand what they're trying to convey, but it's very difficult to summarize. But essentially, when you go through a spiritual awakening, there's an ego death. So anything that you are receiving gratification from, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your home, maybe it's the amount of money that you have, maybe it's your looks, maybe it's you have a specific talent that you receive a lot of gratification from. An ego death is going to completely rid you of all of that. So you will no longer get any gratification from anything at all, period. And this is very difficult for people to go through, but it's also very rewarding because you become one with God. You get the love that you need from God first and foremost. I don't know if that's exactly what they're trying to convey, but that's a little spin on it. 5-5 timer. Love you all. Have a blessed day. Namaste.